Welcome to Let's Talk. Here we will focus on the hustle, the juggle, and everyday struggle of small business. About their everyday struggles, stresses, and ways they have been able to overcome the challenges of running their business. We welcome questions and comments, so please feel free to email us at admin@PlemonsCPA.com. We hope you enjoy, and above all, we hope it helps. Well, welcome to the Hustle, Juggle, and Struggle of Small Business. Today we have in our studio the director of the Women's Business Center here in San Antonio, which is a part of Lift Fund, Margaret Wilson-Anaglia.
I love it. It's an ollie, but she still got it every practice. I love it. See, I love telling you because you know what? I always tell everybody, if you get it right, you get 10 gold stars. Instead of 10 gold stars, I'm still going to give you 9. How's that?
I'll take it.
All right, then. I love it. I love it.
So talk to me. Tell me about the Women's Business Center and what its purpose is, and how did you manage to land there?
Well, there's a little bit of story along the way here. I always like to say that being the director of the Women's Business Center is like the perfect combination of everything I've done. When I tell people I have over 25 years, really 30 years of public, private, and entrepreneur experience, I always laugh because it dates myself if I say 25 or 30 years. But what that means is I bring my passion for small business entrepreneurs, if you've worked in that public sector, or if you've worked in that private sector, all of that knowledge and experience I'm bringing to this position called director of the Santorin Women's Business Center. The center is fantastic. It is powered by the SBA. We have to say that because part of our funding is with the SBA, and we are hosted by the fabulous Lift Fund organization. So I said you can't get any better. Your hometown Lift Fund organization and the SBA being funded the center. What is the purpose of the center? The purpose of the center is actually to support women and what I call at-risk or hard-to-reach entrepreneurs, those that are maybe thinking about taking that jump. What does the center do? It helps people if you want to launch that new business or if you want to take that business to the next level. And I think that's really important, especially in our community, because San Antonio is a very strong small business community.
That
very
is
strong.
That
and,
is.
you know, having my small business hat on the other side of that, I understand those struggles, whether you're thinking, oh, am I good enough to start this business? You know, can I really start this business? How can I take my business to the next level? Well, what the Women's Business Center there is to do, we have business advisors. Guess what, guys? Free of charge. This is not going to cost you anything. My mother used to always say, knowledge is power. That is what the Women's Business Center can give you, that knowledge to start that business, whether you're saying, hey, is this a great idea? How can I take this idea to that next level? Do I need to be a sole proprietor? How do I want to organize my business? Do I need that LLC out there? Do I need the S Corp? Who do I need to reach out to? Something as simple as, how do I market my product? How do I market my service? We have business advisors here to help you. We also have a variety of, I would call them events and programs that we offer from, you know, how to market. And I think what's really hot right now, I'm going to skip over a few things, is what do we do? This is COVID. We're still in the middle of COVID, whether we like it or not. But what I've asked my businesses that I've counseled since I've gotten here is COVID is here to stay. We have to decide, how do we want to work within it? Well, the Women's Business Center, we're here to offer you some ideas and some support to do that. One of the first things I ask my business clients is, how strong is your foundation? Because what we've learned with COVID, if your foundation wasn't strong, it was going to be even a more tougher time.
It almost crumbled.
Exactly. Things like PPP. I have been amazed at a number of small businesses who didn't apply. Ask me, why didn't they apply for PPP?
Why didn't they apply for PPP?
Because they didn't have their financials in order.
Ooh, cringe.
Had their taxes done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hadn't filled out my taxes in a couple of years. Now, I almost fell out because, yes, I am afraid of the IRS, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't want them coming after me, so I tend to pay my taxes. My financials haven't been in order for 5 years. I'm like, oh, my God. So this was free money that could have supported that small business, that could have carried them for that additional 6 months or even 12 months. But they couldn't take advantage of it.
And a lot of that is because they're in their business and not working on their business.
Exactly. And part of what the Women's Business Center is here, we want you to work your business from that perspective of big picture. And when I say foundation, that's part of your foundation is your financials. Legal, do you have everything in order on that side? Staffing. Are you paying your taxes for your employees? Are you paying your employees? Do you have employees? That is a major question. Or do you have contractors?
Do you know the difference?
And do you know the difference? And do you know how the IRS defines a contractor versus an employee? Mm-hmm. You know, and I always say it's good to have someone to talk to. And for me, the Women's Business Center, I like to call it that make ready stop. Making you ready. Do you need a loan? Mm-hmm. You can't just go, if you're going to go through Lift Fund or through the other wonderful agencies that we have out here, banks to have a loan. You can't just say, well, here's my stuff in a shoebox. Can you figure it out? You can come to us and our counselors. We can go through a process and say, are you loan ready?
Right. We'll go through your shoebox for you.
Exactly. And we will literally, and we have done that, which is amazing. But you know what the beauty of it is when we finish that shoebox process, they're thrilled and they're like, you know what? I'm on the right path right now. I'm going to go get me a bookkeeper. I'm going to get me a CPA. Yay. Because what you're going to pay for that CPA, that bookkeeper, it's going to save you thousands of dollars and time. And it's going to put your business in a healthier spotlight. And really, can you sleep at night? And I think one of many things that COVID has done is that as an entrepreneur, you already have a hard time sleeping at night. You really do. If you're an honest entrepreneur, I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos or you're just his mom and pop shop. When I love what one of the gentlemen told me. He says, Margaret, when my feet hit the floor every morning, I think of my 100 employees. I think of my family that I have to take care of. These 100 employees are depending on me. They're depending on me and my team to make the right decisions. Mm-hmm. So I always like to tell folks, use the Women's Business Center. We can be a part of your team. We can be part of your invisible team. And I like to call it tools in the tool belt. Tools in your tool belt. This is what you got. The Women's Business Center can be one of those tools. Will we have all of the answers? No. But will we have some great resources for you and tools to use? Absolutely. One of the programs that we're offering now is the Covert Business Resiliency Program. Say that about 5 times.
Girl, please. I can't even try it. If I get it right once, the first time, right?
I love it. Well, we're offering our fall series of classes. One of those classes we're offering is our tech class. Ask me about that tech class.
Tell me about the tech class, Margaret.
The tech class is one of those classes that I so wanted. It's about building a website.
Oh, nice.
That was another thing with COVID. How many businesses did not even have a website? We're not even talking about a working website. We're talking about not even having a website. Wow. And I heard a lot of folks say, well, I went to a class, and at the end of the class, they told me what to do. Well, if you're a small business, that is probably going to be the last thing on your list, even though it probably should be your top 3, but you're just trying to survive. So this 8-week class, it's already started now, but this 8-week class, when you come out, you will have a website. Now, will you have this fancy Uber Amazon type website? No, but you will have a basic website that will give you presence. So one of the goals for me as a Women's Business Center director is not only to offer a class that I'm checking off a box that said, oh, we had 20 people to attend. Oh, at the end of our year, we had 5,000 people that attended our workshops and our programs. What I want to say is when you leave our workshop, you can say, wow, that information was so valuable. I'm trying to use it during class, even though I'm supposed to be listening because the information is so valuable, or I'm going to use it thereafter. Because what's important is it's not to take a class, but are you using the class? Are you implementing the class in your everyday business? And more importantly, is it generating revenue?
Of course, because time is money.
Time is money. And what we know for sure as an entrepreneur, and especially as a small business, we want tools that are going to generate revenue, that are going to save us time. And in the end, we're going to be profitable and stable as a business. Mm-hmm. So for me, that 30 plus years of experience that I'm bringing is that I understand being a business owner. I understand those key factors. And what we want to do is make sure that the center is providing that. It was very interesting. I took the position May 24th. It's right around the corner here. I got so many compliments. And, I guess I was always amazed about that. They were like, oh, my God, we're so glad you're perfect for the center. I'm like, oh, yeah, I thought I was. So, yes. But they were like, you will understand us. That meant more to me than anything. And as I tell people, give me time. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm here. We're implementing programs. But what I do want people to know is that we are here. Because I heard from a lot of people didn't even know about the Women's Business Center.
So, Chris, tell us about the 7 Ds. What are they?
Every partnership that starts or every business that starts needs to take into consideration what the 7 Ds are. So from the top, it's death, disability, divorce, disinterest, drug addiction, default, divestment. These are some of the most common things that we see hit businesses that cause a massive rift that needs to be taken into consideration on how that business is going to react in the event that one of these happened. Everything from divestment, which just means you retiring, succession planning, whereas divorce, death, disability, disinterest, if somebody becomes disinterested in the business and wants to go do something else, drug addiction or default. So how are we going to handle those moving forward as business owners? We need to take those into consideration, and you need to work with your team to make sure that you're ready if they do come down the way.
So, Chris, how can we get a hold of you for more information?
Well, our main office is in San Antonio off of 281 in Bitters. We also have a website, pontemfinancial.com, PONTEM financial.com. And we're also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course, we have a phone, 210-625-4845, to reach out to a member of my team or myself.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris Hall is a financial advisor and partner with Pontem Financial in San Antonio, Texas. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA/SIPC.
With San Antonio being USA Military City, USA,
yes,
people who come here who want to start business because their spouses are going to be here for at least 3 years, or they retire here and they don't know what they don't know.
Yes.
And that's the difficulty, because how do you get them to know you exist? And it's like when, as a former Bexar County employee in a certain department, I understood that because they didn't know we existed. And it's like, how do you get the word out? And that's the challenge, because we have a phenomenal small business ecosystem in San Antonio.
It is phenomenal. It's one of the best in the country. It really is. Yes.
And it's willing to support any business owner or potential business owner.
Absolutely.
But you have to find out where you are. Find out if you're in the beginning stages, like I have an idea and I just want to have a sounding board, or either I've already registered my business now, where do I go from here? And that's the thing. They have to know that you all exist. And the programs that you offer are phenomenal. I've seen some of them. I've participated.
They're great, from the business counseling to the cohort programs that we offer that will take you through anywhere from an 8-week to a 12-week program that you can examine your business, I always say, from the top to the bottom and come back up again. But again, it's like, how do you get to know? And what I've done is, and I've told my staff, and of course, COVID has made this very interesting. The last, month or so, we thought we were all getting out there. The numbers went up. We all went back kind of like into our shell. But what I've told my staff is, we're going to meet our clients where they're at. But you know what's interesting I found with COVID? A lot of people thought certain things couldn't be done virtually. We know just about everything can be done virtually.
Yes, it can.
So now, as I've talked to the staff as we move forward, looking at 2022, and we're actually in our first quarter, because our first quarter started September 30th for our fiscal year. And so this fiscal year, we're still going to do virtually, but we are going to do a hybrid come January. Some classes that will be offered in person. Some classes will be offered virtually, just depending on what they need. The whole website program, to be honest, we're doing it this very first time virtually because that's what we're doing. But we feel very strongly that we probably could do it in a 2-day period if we were face-to-face. Well, guess what we're doing? We're going to be supplying the laptops. because we have businesses that don't have a laptop. Oh, I'm doing all my, social media on my phone. Well, that doesn't work very well when you're trying to create your website.
True.
So we are, again, it's about having those tools and meeting the clients where they're at.
And see, that hybrid is good because you could even do your hybrid class where you have people sitting in the classroom and then you have a Zoom connection where it becomes a web conference, and that's wonderful.
Exactly. So we're really excited about, and I really want people to get out of the mindset of it's COVID and we're just inundated and the world is coming to an end. Well, you know what we learned is it felt like the world was coming to an end. I'll be honest and share this or not. I lost my best friend from childhood a couple weeks ago due to COVID. That was really hard. But what she would tell me is, hey, I'm in a better place. Y'all in a tough place. But the more important part is we're here. So as business owners, we've already cried. We've already put the pillow over our head for a couple of days and the covers and say we're not coming out. Now we have to come out, and we have to be very cognizant. Do an assessment of your business. Where are you at? Who is your target market? That is always my question. I say, who are you selling to? Mm-hmm. Most people can't answer that question, or they will say everyone.
And we know you can't. Everyone is not your target market.
Everybody's not your target.
We don't care if you're a barber, you're a hairstylist, you're a grocery store.
Exactly.
Everyone is not your target market.
Exactly. And I think that's what people, COVID has made a lot of people do is recognize these are back to the basics. Who's your target market? Does anybody want to buy your product? Mm-hmm. Does anyone want your service? And if they do, are they willing to pay for it? I think that's that big question. Are they willing to pay for it? Because we all know they want it. They don't want to pay for it. We're in the mentality of free shipping. Well, that's looking like that's coming to an end because shipping rates are going up. That's a whole different story. But part of that is finding out who you are, what you are, and more importantly, can you make money at it? I like to tell people, I don't go to work because I don't have anything else to do. I don't own a business because I don't have anything else to do. I'm very American. I love revenue. I love making a living. I love living comfortably. And I never will be apologetic about that. And I tell our business folks too, don't be apologetic about that.
Because you went into business for what? Why did you go into business? You could have kept it as a hobby.
Absolutely.
And just made a little money on the side. But evidently you felt that this could be viable for you. So what is the end goal? What is the end game? Why did you change from a mindset, oh, this is a great hobby? Is it because mama and papa, girl, that's some good cake. Child, you need to do that. And you were like, yeah, this could be a great business. But all the things that come with that.
Yes.
That's what you didn't anticipate.
Exactly.
But the Women's Business Center has the ability to bring clarity to that and set them on a trajectory to say, this is a business, or you might just want to consider this as a hobby that you get paid for very well.
Or this is how you want to take your hobby to the next level. Keep it as a hobby, or matter of fact, don't do that at all because you're going to get to this point. But the resource is there. I think one of the most valuable tools is definitely our business advisors. We have this wonderful orientation session that we do every month. We do it twice a month. And the beauty, and again, all of the services are free. The beauty of it is that it's a startup. It talks about what does it take to be an entrepreneur. And some people, after they've taken that class, they're like, you know what? I don't want to take this to the next. I don't even want to open up a business. I want to keep it as a hobby. But the next step, the other people's like, you know what? I'm ready to do the next step. They make an appointment to see one of our business advisors, and we go through a process with them and so forth and so forth. But what that does is it gives you a free sounding board that you can even see. Because what we all know for sure is not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur 100%. They like how it sounds. And I always tell people, if you think you're going to be an entrepreneur and work 20 hours a week and have your own schedule, let me laugh out loud right now real hard for you.
Really?
Because it's a 24/7 job.
8 days a week.
8 days a week, yes. I like that. People are like, where you get that 8 days a week? I said, you add up all those hours, you come up to another day of the week.
Pretty much.
Which is what it is. But the beauty of it is, a free service with the Women's Business Center. It's here for you. It's up to date from your, like I said, from your financials, from the legal end of it, from your sales and marketing end of it. At being with Live Fund, the beauty with Live Fund is that we have other partners that we partner with and other opportunities from Launch SA, which is part of Live Fund. Also, we work with the SBDCs, with UTSA. We work with Bexar County. We work with the City of San Antonio, the school districts. Again, we have this resource tools. That was one of the things my first week on the job. I asked the team, I said, what resources do we use? And is there one book of resources? And they're like, well, there is, but they're all over. So that's one of the things that we're doing. It's a living, breathing resource book that we have that we can basically go, if you want ABC, XYZ, XX, YY, here it is. And the beauty of with our services at the Women's Business Center, if we don't know the answer, we'll find out.
That's excellent.
And we'll do it for free. Did I say free?
Excellent. Free,
free. Yes, and it's really free. There's no underlying conditions. You know, your tax dollars. I like to say we are actually your tax dollars at work. And having been a former City of San Antonio staffer, I always have that with a smile on my face. Your tax dollars are truly at work. And what we offer people to do is definitely to reach out to the Women's Business Center. We do have a website. It's under the Santorin Women's Business Center to look up, and also make an appointment. You can make an appointment online. People are like, why don't you give out a phone number? Because it's going to be easier for you to make that appointment online. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get with you. And that's really important. We also have the website that we have there, and just other listing of our classes as well. So reach out, to the Women's Business Center. We're here to serve you. I like to say at your service, and people are like, oh, that sounds weird. I said, we are here. It's a service that we're providing, and it's free.
Undoubtedly. So give us that website one more time and how we can get a hold of you.
It's Live Fund San Antonio Women's Business. It's Women's Business Center. So .com.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Margaret. We're so happy to have you. But yes, look them up if you're interested in learning more about the Women's Business Center, what it has to offer, how it can assist you as a small entrepreneur to be a big entrepreneur, and help you with the hustle, juggle, and struggle of small business. We look forward to chatting with you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Margaret. For more information about any of our guests, or if you have questions and comments, please email us at admin@PlemonsCPA.com. And don't forget to check out our website, PlemonsCPA.com, for upcoming events and workshops in San Antonio.
David B Plemons CPA Inc. is providing this podcast as a public service, but it is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of David B Plemons CPA Inc. policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by David B Plemons CPA Inc. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the Hustle, Juggle, and Struggle of Small Business podcast does not imply an endorsement of them or their concepts or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by David B Plemons CPA Inc. employees are those of the employees and do not necessarily reflect the views of David B Plemons CPA Inc. or any of its officials. You should always consult your own investment advisors, attorneys, and accountants before making any decisions concerning your financial matters. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our office.